Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy GZTV. Once again, I'm probably going to be lagging my ass off because my computer is so fucking shit. But we are here with the new Lil Tecca album that dropped last week. I figured I'd talk about it on the channel because, there's really no other music coming out this week, and we're still waiting on Playboi Carti. We're still waiting on A$AP Rocky to drop albums. And Carson's supposed to be coming out with one soon. Ian, Yeet, there's all sorts of different artists that we're waiting on. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about Lil Tecca. And I'm not going to lie, it's been about 4 years since I've been excited for a Lil Tecca album, but I figured I would give this one a shot. This review will probably be short. I just kind of wanted to show Tecca some love a little bit because he used to be that guy back in the day. Like, there's no doubt about it. He used to legit save the summer. Like, that wasn't really a joke. Like, especially when he dropped, like, We Love You Tecca, the first album. That was amazing. Virgo World was even pretty decent. There you have it. Let's get into the review. Like, bro, we see the chrome hearts in the cover, bro. He's just doing this, like, oh, look at my chrome hearts. I'm just playing. I'm off that. We start with Taste, which actually has a really good beat on it. And this is kind of the sort of music I've seen, like, Blackboy Max try to make. That's not a fit. Like, I'm not trying to, like, make that sound offensive because he's a fucking streamer and you're, like, making the same kind of sound. I'm sure they've been together. They've linked up before and, like, worked on music together. It's cool. I actually really like the sound on Taste. Definitely a vibe. Sorry if you see flies flying across. We have, like, a fruit fly invasion currently going on in our apartment.
Brother,
We already have good transitioning on the album, which was cool. It obviously wore itself out, and we could talk about that later. He sounds like A Boogie on Bad Time, which is not a bad thing, because obviously, like, Prime A Boogie with the hoodie was fucking awesome. Solid vocals on there. You get a cool beat on 120. Don Toliver was on the album. Another interesting beat for that. That was pretty cool to see Don Toliver on the album. Don coming with the energy was pause. Okay. Lil Tecca sounded awkward on the song with Don Toliver, though. I'm not really sure about it. I believe that producer worked for Yeet once as well. I can't remember the name of the producer. Maybe I'll do it in editing. We'll see. I thought I heard a producer tag on Vogue too. That sounded familiar, but I guess not. I'm not sure who is all producing for this thing. I don't think Lil Tecca was trying to go for like mainstream producers and get like some of the biggest producers in the game to produce this album, which is cool. Like, you want to give the smaller producers a shot and you want to show them some love. Obviously, transitions again all over this album, and I'll bring up that word a lot of times because that's kind of what Lil Tecca has been known for recently with his music. Most of his albums have transitions on them. It's kind of got that Pierre Bourne type of thing. It's interesting that transition into 24 Hours was slightly a letdown, and we start to see problems with transitions throughout the album because the beats going into the transition actually sound really good, and then you get the song and it's like, well, that was kind of dog shit. I don't know, like, that wasn't really that good. 24 Hours isn't bad though. Number 2 is actually pretty good. That's actually a really good song on the album, probably the best song so far, like up to that point. There's a couple of other songs that I would list as highlights on the album. Overall, I'm just gonna say this right now, this album doesn't have a lot of replay value. It's kind of redundant. It's not the greatest album in the world, but hey, shout out to Lil Tecca for dropping another record. I think he just dropped an album pretty recently before this, so you gotta kind of like respect him. I think it was called Tech. I think that's the one he dropped somewhat recently. I believe, or the beat with the reverse, the vocals, like when the beat was like going, then it like reversed itself. I don't know like if there's a terminology for that, but I love when songs do that. Cool vocals on Number 2, I believe Never Last was a single from the album. It sounds quite familiar. Homebody sounds cool. It seems like he's tried this on this album before, though. Like, you get to a point, like, let me see here. By the time you get to about halfway through the album, it is super redundant, and you already start to feel album fatigue, which is not a good thing, but it's whatever. I mean, you can't be perfect in this world. Not every artist can just pull off what guys like Travis Scott do, guys like Kanye used to do, and just have a completely consistent album. It's not easy to do that. Self to Self has him going in an interesting lane. Really good beat on that song. He just doesn't have the energy he used to have. Like, he used to be a little younger and he used to be way more energetic on tracks. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if that's an observation I'm just making. He used to be way more energetic on some of his older songs. Like, especially the first We Love You Tecca, which will forever be his best album to me. That album was awesome. Like, I genuinely liked it. Bro's getting old, even though he's probably like 21 or something. He's probably like my age, because when I was listening to like We Love You Tecca and when he dropped, was it Ransom? Was that his song? Yeah. And like Devo with the Kid Leroy, when he was dropping songs like that, like, I was just about like 17, 18, and that's probably about how old he was too. I mean, I can look it up real quick. Okay, he's 22. He's a year older than me, but still just about the same age. I don't mind the melody on Separate Ways. There's some promising transitions, and like when you go into a song like A Time and a Place, it has potential, but it's just too mellow. Like the beats need to be better on some of the songs. Like I usually don't have a lot of complaints about the production on Lil Tecca albums. They're usually pretty good. It's just some of the songs are like, yeah, you built it up with this crazy transition, and it's like, For You was another kind of disappointing song. Again, a lot of these songs had promising transitions. They had good beats to start the song, and then Lil Tecca just doesn't really take it to the place it needs to go. I don't really know. It's not bad, but the beat, again, be better, please. To be honest, once you get to a song like For You, there was really no point of talking about the rest of the album because most of the rest of the album was, again, redundant, repetitive. He's done this before. I don't know. They damn near sound the same. He gets women. Yeah. Like on Crazy Girls, like there was a point where it was like, holy fuck, just end the song. Like you're dragging it. You're milking the fuck out of it. You got to make sure you get that 45-minute runtime on your album for the label, I guess. And Mama, on the back end, I think Mama is probably the best song. It's really good. Nice flow. Cool vocal effects there. That's actually a pretty interesting song. Some of the lyrics were a little weird though. Like I said some weird stuff about his mom. I guess it was like all love or something. I don't know. There's definitely a highlight there. When we're talking about D1, I thought Ken Carson could have been on a song like this. And honestly, I think it would have been great to see Ken Carson on this album. You know, I think that would have been cool. They had a great collab on Tech all the time. Insanely boring. Why are we setting up in the shit? And then you get to the final song and he has a transition on the final song. Like, it's a fucking final song. I guess he has like a deluxe or something. I don't know. Let's get into the review. I'm done with this. So just talking like in generalities, this is obviously not an album to get too analytical on. You can kind of sit back and enjoy it to a degree. You can listen to the beats. You can listen to the flows. The lyrics don't really matter. I mean, obviously he can rap a little bit. Like Lil Tecca is a somewhat talented, not a lyricist, but like a rapper. Like he has good cadences, flows. Not like his words are too in depth. He's not trying to have like some social commentary on his record. His sound is definitely like getting generic, but I don't mind this album in general. It's a very interesting production in certain parts of this album. It doesn't have replay value though. Like I can respect Tecca for trying new things, but his voice just kind of wore off over time and people just started to kind of get tired of it. Like you definitely see that like in the mainstream hip hop media. Like people just started to be like, okay. He started We Love You Tecca and just kind of went like that. Like there's no hate at all. It's just kind of like the quality of the music, the sound just got too repetitive. Again, like a pure born sound on this album production wise, which is kind of cool. Like I don't know if anyone else thinks that, but there's definitely some pure born aspects to Lil Tecca's music, like in terms of the production. He obviously forces transitions a lot, which is a huge like con I have, a huge gripe I have with this record. Music like this just gets boring after a while. Again, like I'll keep saying that. If I'm absolutely not paying attention to what's being said, I can enjoy this, but the delivery just isn't great. I had headphones in while listening to this album, and that probably wasn't the move because I was damn near falling asleep like listening to some of the tracks because it was just like in my ears and I just wanted it to be fucking over at times already. Like you can put this on the background with the speaker and just kind of chill out to the beat. I need the one, like that song on this album. You need a one, you need a hit, and you really don't get that. I just don't think it has it. Again, Mama, and I can't remember the other song. Mama and that other song I talk about, Number 2. Mama and Number 2 are probably the two best songs on the record. I don't know. It just doesn't have anything. Like, not enough variety to justify this album being 18 songs as well. Like, again, just the album bloat of this generation's rappers. I almost turned it off early. Some of these songs are a form of a torture method, damn near. Like, all I have to say is, like, in general, this album isn't worthwhile. It's not going to stick around for long. You're probably going to listen to a couple of songs for a week, which I know. A lot of hip-hop records nowadays kind of have that quality to them because there is so much music coming out anyway, and we have TikTok brains. That's going to do it, guys. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Those are just my overall thoughts. Shout out to Lil Tecca. Like, I will forever respect him. Like, he's a really solid hip-hop artist, and, you know, his journey, you know, starting off so young and making waves so early in his career was awesome. Albums like this is just kind of like, I don't know. It is what it is. Maybe he's just not the type of artist to go out there and have that huge magnum opus, that huge, like, creative venture. I'm out, guys.